Good morning, folks. This is Woken WuVille, and my name is Rob Burke. And today's topic will be housing, and your host, running for Boston City Council at large, is Catherine Vitale. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning, Rob. Welcome to Woken WuVille.
Hey, so listen, we're going to make our adjustments here, just trying to get going. How you doing, folks? And got this thing to get the camera squared away. How's that? Is it looking okay?
Fabulous, from what I can see.
Hey, so listen, folks, Woken WuVille today. We're over in South Boston. What are we? East
1st Street.
East 1st Street. So, Catherine, behind us, there is a building going up. And what is that building all about?
Well, it doesn't say much on the sign. I was going to look it up. It's looks like a new development is coming. Some more overdevelopment in South Boston. And we're at this specific location because somebody has vandalized the planning sign and wrote, "Nobody wants this." So I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
Nobody wants it. Hey, so folks, just remember, we're going to be putting that website up at wokenwuville.boston. The phone number there is 617-915-4009. They go up to sign. We get the windage here. So we've added our new little signage here. We got to fix the stand on it. But anyways, you can always send us an email or give us a call on the phone at, once again, 617-915-4009. And you can go to the website at wokenwuville.boston. So, Catherine, does it say anything about the size of that development? How many units?
It doesn't say on the sign, and I can't find the information on the BPDA for this specific address.
So it's,
but it has a picture of what it's going to look like. It's another massive development with a bunch of rental units. And I mean, if you look at boston.gov and you see their plans for the compact living pilot program, it's ridiculous. They have buildings going up with over 1,000 units per building, as if we need to add that many people to Boston.
So let me ask you a question. Since you're running for Boston City Council, this conversation gets intertwined with Woken WuVille. But I know we met together with the people up at the church there. Where was that, in Dorchester?
First Parish Church.
First Parish Church, and we were sitting down in the meeting, and they were describing a project over in Columbia Point. You remember that? They're talking about affordable housing. And the thing that I kept on thinking to myself is their definition of affordable housing is one thing, and everybody else's definition is totally different. And so what do you think about that?
Yeah, so one of the projects they were talking about at that meeting was the new development going up at the Bayside Expo Center location, where they're going to have 1,900 rental units, and 2/3 of the floor level will be retail space, which I'm sure is not going to go to mom and pop businesses. It's probably going to go to business corporations. And they said that they're going to create over 15,000 permanent jobs, which is ridiculous because I don't know about you, but everywhere I go in Boston, I'm seeing now hiring signs. I don't think we need 15,000 new jobs, especially minimum wage jobs. And this compact living pilot that Boston is doing, I mean, that all big cities across the country are doing, they just probably have different names on them. They don't allow resident parking. So a lot of places in Boston right now, you need to get a resident parking permit. Okay? But in these new developments going up, if they're part of this compact living program, they won't give a resident parking permit to the residents in these buildings.
Just remember, folks, we're in Boston, South Boston, on right by Vicksburg Street, and this is East 1st Street.
Yeah.
And it's and we're in Boston, as I said. It's 6:57. And listen, if you can chime in, we'd love to have you come in on the chat boxes. Anybody in Boston that's talking about affordable housing, please come on in or give us a call at 617 915-4009. We try out our new app. So we're getting upline. Or go to the website at WuVille.Boston and send us an email. Let's know. So, Catherine, remember we were talking about in the meeting when the developer was explaining what he was trying to do over there. Was it like 30 units? And then by the time the
So this was different from the Bayside project. This was something happening on High Street in like the Upham's Corner area. And he said that when he first proposed his development, it was like 9 units that he was proposing. And this was when Marty Walsh was the mayor of Boston. And they told him that was too small, that he had to make it bigger. And it went up to, I want to say, 16 units. And then they got the project built. And then under Mayor Wu, they were told basically that their old contract was no good and that this building isn't big enough. They need at least 30 units.
So looking at the city of Boston, we have all the beautiful people that live on the beautiful places. And then we have in Saltage right here, a lot of the kids, I call them kids, but because of hyperinflation and excessive spending by the government, their rent's going through the ceiling. They're not making any more money, and it's forcing them to move out of here. And then there's the people that we're talking about, the people in the middle and lower class that want to live in Boston, but are getting jammed every which way. What are you hearing back from the people?
There's no room for us in Boston. There's no room for families. They're kicking everybody out who grew up here, who's raising their family here. We're supposed to either get with the program and move into these new compact living situations, or I guess move out to the suburbs and the other places in the state where we can't afford to live, which is really sad because Boston used to be a really family-oriented place.
No, it's I mean, I sent some little information over Catherine on trends of renters and building. The trend is Boston is right there with the most expensive cities in the country. San Francisco. Actually, during the fake pandemic, the CCP virus, Boston overtook them for pricing. So these kids right here, the young people, they're getting destroyed. They can't do anything. They can't make any more money, and the rent keeps on going up 30%. And they just can't afford it with hyperinflation. So looking at the city of Boston's landscape now, which you do all the time because you have your own little story going on with trying to find affordable housing. What's going on in the market? What are you looking at? What are you seeing?
So I've been looking for an apartment since March. I can't find anything that fits my family's needs. And I have a Section 8 voucher. So I have assistance when I don't have an income. They pay my whole rent. And then when I do have an income, I have to pay 30% of my income toward my rent. But I haven't been able to find anything. And I mean, for a 3-bedroom apartment, it's anywhere from $3,200 to over $5,000 a month.
Plus everything else.
Yeah. And like I said, with the new compact living, it ties into what we were saying yesterday with the bike lanes and the bus lanes and, this whole agenda that they're pushing for us to not own vehicles. They want to make it undesirable to drive in the city. These new compact living situations, they don't allow you to have a resident parking permit, which essentially means you can live there, but you can't park there. So basically, you can't have a car because there'll be nowhere to park it.
They'll do anything to put you on the tee.
And then when they do have like the little parking garages underneath, there's only like, for over 1,000 units, they have like 11 parking spots. So they don't want you driving.
What else have you been looking at for the city of Boston? You've been in a couple of these forums and they talk about affordable housing. What is it government housing? That's all they're talking about?
What is affordable housing? It doesn't make any sense. They have these median incomes. And so if you make under a certain amount of money, there's different tiers. There's 60% of the median income. There's 80%. There's 100%. And then I think they even go to like 120%. And there's different tiers for the income that you make. So depending on your income, then you can get it. You too can get into this affordable housing, but it's still a massive portion of your income, and that's not even market rent.
We're just looking at some social media here, trying to get some people to get involved. It's just general information. Obviously, make sure if you want to call in, it's 617-915-4009, or you can go to the website at WuVille.Boston. And we got a couple ideas on that particular website. Hopefully, we can build out to give a page to every neighborhood and let them chime in their own particular problems. So
sorry, the sun is killing me here.
We have the sun here. It's always the key when you set up in these places. It doesn't come with instructions. You try to get to a point where the sun's not on our eyes. You know, with good video, you should always have the sun at you, but sometimes you can't see anything. It's 7:04 right now. So, Catherine, on the affordable housing, have you been into any other meetings besides the one that you and I were at?
I have. I've been to quite a few civic meetings. I went to Codman Square, Roxbury, West Roxbury, and it's the same kind of atmosphere throughout the whole city, as that pretty much they propose these developments, the residents oppose, and then they go up anyway.
So the other thing is that we noticed that meeting up in meeting house at the church, the developers talking about the permitting process. It just seemed to go on and on and on and on. Then when they got the project, oh, that's not good enough. We got to change it. We got to make everything smaller and more, and make it unbearable to basically live in these places.
Well, you got to make the units smaller, but the development's bigger, is the thing. So
we know Michelle Wu has a big house, so I think she can take a few people in that house. And Marty Walsh's house over in Lower Mills is pretty nice.
I mean, even this one over here has a garage underneath. You see that?
It's I Street and East First. And again, it's all the same type of architecture, square boxes. I don't know how many
tiny little units, compact units. They probably got bunk beds in there and compact kitchens and
on the ceiling. So we're in Southie here, and basically you have the gentrification is over here. They get all the other luxuries as impediments for these people to work. They want them on the buses. But I remember talking about the people in Southie. She goes, they did an article about one of the girls saying it's unbelievable how expensive it is to live here. And she goes, I got to move out. This area is pretty transit over in Southie. They probably turn them every 3 years or so. So we're just trying to see if we can get a few people to talk to us out the street here. And what are you seeing over there, Kat?
No, I'm just looking at the feed on my phone. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
Yeah, that's good. We'll eventually set up all the platforms. And again, if here's someone to come in right here, I can't see that with this. Is that Cheryl? Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. Cheryl, how are we sounding? Give us a check. Hey, like any other program, trying to grow the community, we'll do the best we can. But the more we're out here.
If you're on Facebook and you're watching, are you watching on the Catherine Teresa post or the Vitale for Boston post? Because I'm streaming live on both, but I'm not seeing both on my phone.
You're probably being shadow banned.
Yeah, I am, definitely.
Who's got a thumb on it?
When my campaign page goes live, nobody sees it, apparently.
Nice. So like I said, when we're doing these little podcasts, we try to minimize, talk about a couple of subjects. We'll just stay focused on the housing. So when you went into different neighborhoods, you looked at West Roxbury, all pretty much the same. West Roxbury, Southie, Dorchester, the Ponset. What'd you say?
Like I said, the atmosphere and the vibes and the attitudes from the residents is the same. So even though all these neighborhoods seem different from the outside looking in, they have different features and different issues being raised at different times, but all the people have the same vibe, is that we're not being listened to by our local government. They hold these hearings and act like we have a say in any of these processes, and it's all for show. because no matter what the residents say, the constituents, the business owners, everybody involved, no matter what we say, they're going to go through with their agenda, just like the bike lanes, the overdevelopment, anything that's happening with the schools. They don't care about what we say. We have a complete totalitarian government
The
here.
other thing is the Massachusetts is the top getter for our new citizens coming here, and they're putting them up in hotels. And I know that someone called me yesterday. Like I said, I have a district that has 20 towns in it. Quincy now is a welcome area, but staying in Boston, where are they hiding them in Boston? You think? I mean,
somebody was telling me about seeing a massive drop off of Haitian immigrants somewhere in Boston, maybe Mattapan. They just showed up all of a sudden.
just
I don't. It's crazy. And I mean, we need to stop building upward.
okay, Catherine.
There is.
So if you could design a plan for someone like yourself, and these are, let's just be honest, working class families, what project or what things would you be thinking about how to build it out correctly so you could afford it? I mean, just think about that just for a second. You know, you're living it. You're living these policies that are killing you. And every time you turn around, there's an impediment or roadblock. So what would you do on a plan? If I was going to ask you as a Boston City Councilor at large, running for office, affordable housing, what would you do?
Well, I think we need to look at what the cost is for the smaller developers and the landlords. What are their property taxes looking like? What are their monthly bills looking like? Why are they being forced to charge so much? Are they being forced to charge so much? Or is this self-inflation where they're charging so much just because they can, which I don't think is the case. But I mean, in 2021, I lived in upstate New York, and I had a huge 3-bedroom apartment in a really good area with, a park right next door, a big backyard, a driveway, garage, everything. And I was only paying $930 a month. So if there's places in the country and places that close to where we are now, that's only 3 hours away from here, that are charging $930 a month for the same thing here, you'd be paying more than $5,000 a month. It doesn't make any sense.
Affordable housing. Affordable housing, how's that helping us? Anyways, we get some dog walkers here. Here comes a lady. She wants to get involved. Would you like to come on and talk about affordable housing? Yeah. Talking about affordable housing. I guess not. They're petrified. So anyways, going into Boston now, your election's coming up. So do you have any more of the forums, and how can we get in touch with you regarding this issue? And listen, folks, do us a favor, okay? If you see this a little bit later, make a comment, send an email so we can follow up with you. And the format, we're going to make the format as tight as we can. And obviously comment the next day when we're set up again in a different location and maybe hit a few of the solutions. And if you have any great ideas, this is what it's all about. It's all about bottom up. The people that are living this stuff should be able to have the input, not the people, top down who have no idea what they're talking about. None of these people have done anything. Most of them are all pencil pushers anyways, but go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so go to vitaliforboston.com. You can contact me there. Or what do we have on WuVille.Boston? Do we have a contact form?
There's a contact form there also. Yes, send the email and the phone number again, 617-915-4009. And again, as we get going, we send the stuff the night before, or any questions or topics you'd like to discuss, and maybe we can bring them up while we're on location around the city of Boston, and just
let us know what's happening in Boston. If there's a certain area you want us to go to, or a certain issue you want us to cover and try to shine some light on, let us know. We want to work with the people of Boston and get your input.
We're going to be signing off now because we think less is better and more content is better and more solutions better. So this is Rob Burke signing off for WuVille.
Thanks for watching.
Take care now.